Have you ever wondered why you work harder every year, yet life never seems to get easier? Every month begins with hope, but somehow ends with the same question. Where did the money go? Days become weeks, weeks become years, and suddenly an entire decade has disappeared. One day you realize your children grew up while you were busy trying to stay financially afloat. Many people followed the rules exactly as they were taught, yet still feel stuck. Sometimes success feels like climbing a ladder that never stops getting taller. You earn more than you did years ago, but somehow feel no richer than before. Every raise seems to be followed by a new expense waiting to claim it. What if the problem isn't that you're failing? What if the system itself keeps people running? To understand the trap, we first need to understand how people unknowingly enter it. It usually starts with a dream, a good education, a good job, and a better life. The first paycheck feels like freedom. It feels like everything is finally beginning. Then come the upgrades, a better place to live, better furniture, a better lifestyle. Nothing feels dangerous because every purchase seems affordable when paid monthly. One payment becomes two become five become a permanent part of life. Without realizing it, many people enter a cycle that becomes harder to escape every year. The raise arrives, but somehow the extra money disappears before it changes anything. Each improvement feels earned, but every upgrade quietly increases future financial pressure. The trap becomes dangerous when working harder no longer creates meaningful progress. From the outside, everything looks successful, but underneath, many families are barely staying afloat. The most expensive habit isn't spending too much, it's waiting too long to start. Many people underestimate how much wealth is lost by delaying small financial decisions. One purchase feels harmless. Thousands of similar decisions create a completely different outcome. Financial problems often begin as small leaks that seem too insignificant to notice. Some of the most costly financial decisions happen simply because everyone else is doing them. Comparison quietly convinces people to spend money solving problems they never actually had. Many people focus on looking wealthy long before they focus on becoming wealthy. Debt doesn't only borrow money from the future, it borrows freedom from the future too. The trap deepens when every increase in income is matched by an increase in lifestyle. The most powerful part of the middle-class trap is that it rarely feels like a trap at all. The hardest moment isn't entering the trap, it's realizing you've been inside it for years. Many people aren't trapped by poverty. They're trapped by obligations they can no longer afford to lose. When every paycheck already has a destination, taking risks becomes almost impossible. The trap often kills opportunities long before it destroys finances. One of the most dangerous words in personal finance is someday. People often notice the trap only after realizing how much time has quietly passed. Imagine meeting your future self today. What financial advice would they beg you to follow? The good news is that escaping the trap is possible. The bad news is that almost nobody starts where they should. The first step out of the trap isn't earning more money. It's seeing the trap clearly. You cannot change a financial future you refuse to honestly examine. Most people know where their paycheck comes from. Few know exactly where it goes. The trap is rarely built by one giant mistake. It's built by thousands of small ones. Financial freedom often begins with discovering what has been quietly draining your wealth. The moment you separate needs from wants, your financial life begins to change. Every dollar you stop wasting becomes a worker building your future. Wealth rarely begins with huge amounts. It usually begins with consistency. The best financial decisions often look small in the beginning and enormous years later. Awareness opens the first door, but escaping the trap requires something much harder than awareness. The biggest financial transformation begins when you stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner. Most people spend money to impress strangers. Wealthy people use money to buy assets. Every dollar can either make you look richer today or become richer tomorrow.
One simple mindset shift can completely change the direction of your financial future.
The goal is not to spend everything you earn. The goal is to keep part of every dollar working. The truly powerful moment comes when money begins generating more money. Hard work is important, but ownership allows progress to continue even when you're resting.
The wealthy understand something powerful. Time is their greatest financial partner. Financial freedom rarely comes from chasing shortcuts. It comes from building strong foundations. Before escaping the middle-class trap financially, most people must first escape it mentally. The wealthy often win because they think in decades, while others think in paychecks. One secret of wealth is understanding that patience can be more profitable than talent. Most people search for shortcuts. Wealth is usually built through consistency, not excitement. Money grows fastest after years of slow growth that most people never stay around to see. Many wealthy people pay themselves first before paying everyone else. The goal is not simply earning income. The goal is creating assets that continue producing income. Knowledge often becomes one of the highest return investments a person can ever make. What people call luck is often years of invisible discipline nobody ever noticed. Wealth grows when you start making decisions that benefit your future self. Once you understand the rules of wealth, the next challenge is avoiding the traps that destroy it. The saddest financial mistakes don't end with one person. They often continue for generations. Children often inherit financial behaviors long before they inherit money. Without awareness, financial patterns quietly repeat themselves decade after decade. Many financial struggles begin with foundations that were never built correctly. A lack of savings turns ordinary problems into financial emergencies. Debt promises convenience today while quietly demanding years of future income. When every dollar leaves as quickly as it arrives, building wealth becomes nearly impossible. The cost of short-term comfort is often paid with long-term opportunity. The paycheck-to-paycheck cycle can feel normal until you realize how much freedom it steals. The powerful question is this: will the next generation inherit your struggles or your lessons? Every financial comeback begins with a simple decision. Things must change starting today. The past may explain your situation, but it does not have to define your future. The moment you create a plan, uncertainty begins losing its power over you. Big financial victories are usually built from small actions repeated consistently. Progress feels slow at first, but every payment removes another piece of the burden. The same force that once worked against you can eventually start working for you. Every time you delay a temptation, you strengthen your future financial position. The rewards often arrive long after the discipline that created them. Life changes when daily improvements become more important than overnight success. The cycle can be broken, but first, you must understand the habits that create lasting wealth. Wealth is rarely built through one decision. It's built through habits repeated for years. Consistency beats intensity when it comes to creating long-term financial success. Learning is one of the few investments that can never be taken away from you. What gets measured improves. What gets ignored usually gets worse. Depending on a single source of income can make even a strong financial life fragile. The wealthiest purchase is often the one you never make. Financial security begins when unexpected problems stop becoming financial disasters. Time rewards those who stay invested longer than it rewards those who invest perfectly. True wealth is measured not only by what you keep, but by what you leave behind. Discipline may feel difficult today, but future freedom is built on today's decisions. One day you look back and realize the life that once felt impossible has become your reality. The goal was never to survive forever. The goal was to create options. Financial freedom is not about money itself. It's about gaining control over your time. The wealthiest people are often those with the greatest control over their own schedules. When assets begin supporting your lifestyle, everything starts to change.
Success becomes more meaningful when it creates opportunities for people you care about. The results may look impressive, but the roots of wealth are surprisingly simple. Wealth does not guarantee happiness, but it can create freedom to pursue what matters. The greatest reward is often peace of mind, not the size of a bank account. So how do you make sure your story ends on the right side of that bridge? Imagine meeting yourself 20 years from now. What would that future version thank you for today? Your financial journey is really a story, and every decision becomes part of that story. The most important chapters of your financial life may not have happened yet. The direction of your future depends far more on today's choices than today's circumstances. The trap becomes weaker every time you make a decision based on the future instead of the moment. Sometimes the greatest financial achievement is changing the future of the next generation. The perfect time never arrives. The best time to start is always now. Small decisions repeated consistently can eventually create extraordinary outcomes. Financial freedom is not reserved for a lucky few. It begins with a single decision to change. The middle-class trap is real, but your future is still being written, and the next chapter starts today.